Evening, everyone. So welcome to today's Speak with the Boss. And today we have a special guest with us. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the Builder and Ubiquity Foundation, and we have several programs that we run. But first, our guest today, she's the head of operation Paddy Cover, Opeoluwa Duntoye, and she's here with us. Ope, do you want to confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. So I'll just go ahead and read Ope's bio. So Ope is currently the head of operation at Paddy Cover, and InsurTech, offering bespoke products via multi-channel panel platforms that facilitate flexible and convenient payment for insurance packages. Our focus is to drive the development of innovation products that cater to prospective customers' core insurance needs and ensure the organization's overall operational excellence. In her previous role at Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC, she grew the e-business unit, consistently developing digital insurance products, creating digital insurance channels, implementing strategic digital partnerships, and driving strategic marketing communication initiatives. Her career journey spans over 15 years, and she has made a significant impact in implementing digital innovations, marketing communication strategies, and training consulting services across diverse industries, including banking, communication, oil and gas, insurance, and consulting industries. Opeoluwa is a certified marketing communication professional with a master's degree in advertising and marketing, a certified digital marketing professional, and associate of the National Institute of Public Relations. She is passionate about developing innovative digital products that meet the core needs of consumers and creating channels that make products and services easily accessible to the end user. Opeoluwa, you're welcome to Builder and Ubiquity Foundation's Speak with the Boss show. So I believe our audience are definitely excited. Powerful profile that you have. We've been on a break for a while and thought to make this more practical and more aligned with the times that we are in the country. And most importantly, we have 1 hour to break this down, and I'm hoping everybody has their jotters and are taking notes and are putting down their questions in that sense. So just to give a background again to those who are joining us for the first time, Builder and Ubiquity Foundation is dedicated to supporting small business owners and small businesses through grants, asset grants, that is done through our UIP programs. And we do this, I think, once or twice a year, I believe. And we give these asset grants and also provide support to the alumni of those who have been through this program since its inception in 2019. We have evolved and we continue to evolve, and this is a new one for us, and we're hoping that it will be exciting and looking forward to your feedback at the end of this show. So Opeoluwa, I'll hand over to you. And as you all know, she'll be speaking on the topic insurance and SMEs, why your business needs insurance. And this is a very interesting and critical part of the current times where things are even more volatile, as it were. But it's important to protect what we have and what we're using to serve our customers and to also earn a livelihood. All right, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Andre, for that intro. It's always very, how would I call it, surprising sometimes when I hear my talk for myself. Thank you so much for a great presentation. So I'm going to go right into it. I'm hoping it's an interactive one, and the audience can also communicate back. Andre, please can you confirm that with me?
Ori, could you please confirm that for us? Ori, are there rooms for the participants to be
Yes, I was
highly
actually
interactive?
typing, but I didn't want to interrupt. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, go ahead,
Yes,
please.
yes, they can.
Okay, great. Okay, yes. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to start, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get the feedbacks that I'll need, because I want it to be as realistic as possible. And I also want to, people to be able to relate to whatever I'm saying. So questions will be out there. I had an icebreaker, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to ask. Insurance is one of the topics that people tend to say is very, very boring. Andre, do you feel that way too?
Well, not anymore. Maybe a few years ago, early in my career, but right now, if you ask me to insure anything, I'll be asking how much, not why.
Great, great.
And I was hearing on
like
the radio show the other day, and people they were making a list of things that people have insured, from body parts to just ridiculous things. But I'm sure there's a reason why an insurance company will put money behind it. So
Exactly.
I'm curious.
Exactly. So yeah, so I'm just going to go right there. Thank you so much, Andre. So people say it's boring, but I want to tell you, like, it's one of those industries I never thought I was going to find myself in. Because again, I had that realization before, but then working within the industry, I find out that there's so much information that people do not know, do not have, for them to make an insured decision. So I'm going to start with this icebreaker, asking you guys. I'm going to say two truths and one lie. Two truths and one lie. So I'm looking for who would pick out the lie from that, and then just to make this a very fun and interactive one. I'm not sure, Oriyomi, I can't see the chats from the audience, so I don't know how we can go about that.
You can't see
So
the
my
chat on
husband-
YouTube. I can
Okay,
see.
so I have to go to YouTube to see that, right? So give me a minute. So I need another gadget for that.
Yes, because I didn't join via Zoom.
Okay. Sorry, please. I had the impression that everybody was going to be here on this particular. So I'm just going to go on the YouTube link so I can see everybody's comments too. Great. So yeah. Okay, yes, I can see the comments. Awesome. Good evening. Nice to meet you, Ma. So great. So the first truth, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you which one is the truth, which one is the lie, please. So let me just say. So I'm a mom of two. I love traveling, and my favorite color is red. Which of all that is the lie? I just want to know. Can somebody just tell me which is the lie? I'm a mom of two. I love traveling, and my favorite color is red. Which is the truth and which is the lie? I'm waiting for comments. Anybody? It's like I have a serious crowd here, a very serious crowd. Okay. So this crowd is very, very serious. So I'll just go right into it. I'll just go and say my. Okay. Insurance and MSMEs and why you should insure. They said my best color is red. Is the lie. Love traveling is the lie. I love traveling is the truth. I said which one is the lie. I didn't say which is the truth. Which one is the lie? Which one is the lie? The color is the lie. Let me check if it's someone that knows me very well. Okay. Your best color is red is the lie. Okay, so the truth is, I love traveling, and yes, I am a mother of two. No, red is not my favorite color. My favorite colors, I actually have two, pink and purple. Yeah. So why am I starting with colors, right? Colors are things that, how will I say, when you have a favorite color, that means it means a lot to you. It's special to you. So when you see your favorite color, your eyes sparkles, you're so elated, you're so happy. It's just the same way you feel when you buy, maybe you buy a new car in that favorite color of yours, and then you don't know insure it. And I'm like, what is your favorite color? Or you have a collection of bags, right? And they are all in your favorite things, but they're not insured. You're opening a business. You've nurtured that business for a long time, right? That business, you took pain, a lot of pain to strategize, to draw up projects, sometimes getting grants to support you like the foundation does, and you don't insure it. But these are things that you value, right? And there are things that you should actually prioritize. So what I'm going to really be talking about for you right now is to break it down. What I've come to realize is that a lot of people is not like they don't want to insure. There are two things. Let's just say three things. Three things is, the first thing is your great grandmother put money in one insurance company, and they told you the whole story of how the money, they never saw it again. And since then, you vowed, I will never I will never give my money to any insurance company ever again. The other category is the one that says, all that I have is in the hands of the Lord. So no, you do not insure. You forget that the same Bible tells us that, or whatever religion you have, you give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. You do the right thing when you're supposed to do it. Wisdom is profitable to direct. And they're just this category of people that they would love to actually insure, but they don't know what to do, right? They don't know how to go about it. They don't know which policy will I work to. And then when you see all the insurance, when you ask somebody and you see all the insurance documents they send to you, you're just like, oh, seriously, where am I going to start from? Right. So I'm here to just demystify all these things for you. See it in simple language. And if you're an insurance professional that is here, just know that I am breaking it down in words that is relatable for layman, not for you as an insurance person. You as an insurance person, you already know all the clauses, you know everything. But right now, for those that don't know those clauses, we need to simplify it for them in a way that they understand and take an insurance decision. All right, then. So let's go on this cruise together. One of my former bosses, he said this first quote. He's always saying it, and I really love it. Insurance is that service that you subscribe to when you don't need it, but gladdens your heart that you have it when you need it. So when AY's house got burnt, I went to the thread and I was reading all the comments that people were giving. Very few people, I like it is when, how will I call it now, is when things happen that people remember that insurance exists. It's usually very funny to me, right? But a lot of people in that comment section, hey, hope he insured the house, so hope that that car, everything he has was insured, But hey, I'm hoping that as the guy that AY is, that he actually insured. Hopefully he's insured. I don't have that information, but I'm just using that as an information. So at that point in time, because that accident had happened, not everybody now remembers that, or more, this house should have been insured. But the truth is, when that conversation is meant to happen, even from when you started doing the foundation of the house, not when not when you are finished building, you have started living, when something happens. No. The other thing, this one is personally for me, is ensuring your business is a way of showing yourself some love and assuring your stakeholders of your commitment to them and the business you are building. If you are not insured in this Nigeria, you don't like yourself. That's just the truth. You don't like yourself and you just want to give yourself unnecessary BP. That's just the truth. Because insurance is that cushion that you need, to help you when unforeseen circumstances happen or any of the risks that you've been able to highlight during your business. So when you do your business plan, there's this part of the business plan that says you should analyze your risk factors, right? Those risk factors are things that you look at it and you actually get insurance covers against them. Some you look at it when you're doing your risk assessment, you say mitigation, you say likely to happen, likely not to happen. Those analyses are not just there. They're not just there. They're for you to take action to make sure that in a case whereby it escalates, I have my insurance to, call for this. All right. So why should you insure really? Why should you? Okpe is saying that my favorite things are important to me. She has said, these are the, how will I call it now? Somebody said exactly too much documents everywhere, right? Okpe is talking about, I should insure. You should insure because so let's say, for example, now, I'm trying to remember a scenario of something that happened without saying the name of the company. So one of their machineries just broke down. And they have other insurance covers with us. But then they reached out like, oh, this happened. I'm like, these were the things that you should have added to the inventory. You didn't have it. And, we now have that kind of situation whereby that machinery was actually not insured. Now, for like 3 weeks, they had disruption in their manufacturing process. They couldn't continue operations normally. But because in a case whereby you have insurance, you can call in your insurance, you've taken, this is what happened. This is depending on the agreement or what the policy document carries, right? You get sorted in time for you to continue your business. So you're not thinking about how much am I going to repair this? How much is it going to cost me to replace this, right? For them, in their own case, they had two. So they had just one left. So while they were trying, the way they had planned this, right? They could survive with one machinery for the next 1 week, 1 or 2 weeks. But because it wasn't insured, they couldn't, the 1 or 2 weeks was not enough for them to get a replacement because there was no insurance money coming to help them sort that out. So business continuity is affected. It keeps your mind at peace. I don't know, but somebody bashed my car was it on Tuesday? It was on Thursday. It was a downfall. And I came down and I was like, I looked at the situation. I said, hi, God. And I was rushing for a meeting. I just said I should just ask this guy. I said, please, Oga, do you have third-party insurance? Just for third-party insurance. And I can tell you for free, 90% of all those buses you see don't have. I just wanted to do like how will I call it now? A life experiment of a scenario. Let's say my customer is in this scenario. What my customer would have done? So I just looked at him. I said, hey, you don't have. Okay. I took the picture of the accident, of what happened, took the picture of his plate number, and I just went inside my car and I just said, you know what, let me just be going. And the guy was like, and I was like, see, in my mind, I was just laughing because I knew my insurance company was gonna come through for me, right? So I just went ahead and went for my meeting and then sent documentation to my insurer, and that was it. Do you get? So I had that piece that me, like they've hit my car, right? And even if they hit my car, I had that assurance that I was able to get proof of the vehicle that hit me, and I've sent it to my insurer. So I don't have to start looking for worrying my head about repairing it because I've made that complaint already. Now, investors take your business seriously when you are insured against all the possible risks associated with your business. So it gets to a level of your business that you might be looking for investors. Not all businesses need investors, really, but there might come to that stage of your business whereby you need investors, and you've done your proof of the business. They can see that this business is viable, and they're looking at your business plan, and they don't say that, and they're looking at it. You have done your risk analysis. Okay, so what are the things you've put in place to mitigate this risk? And then you're looking. You don't have business because you don't have. I'm going to go to all the categories of business of insurance policies that you can take up, but you don't have these things. And then so, how do they take you seriously, really? And you want them to give you that money? They won't, because they feel like, oh, you're not properly business savvy, like you don't understand financial management enough for them to give you their money. Because how in God's name don't you have an insurance in place for your business? It ensures you are in line with regulators' obligations. So, interesting fact. A lot of people say things don't work in Nigeria, but then I say this is my personal opinion, and I believe that we all have a level of responsibility that we need to put in place. So if you are having a business that has you doing anything that has to do with the public and public interaction, you have no business not having a public liability insurance. What if you do something that damages a public property? Which insurance are you going to call to help you in that case? So there are also some service level regulators that will ask you, and insurance is part of it. When the fire people come to your office, the only thing they're not, in the true sense of it, they're not supposed to just only check if you have fire extinguisher, if you have fire alarm. They're also meant to check if you have an insurance policy in place in case of an accident in that premises. So if we keep saying Nigeria is not working, are you doing your part by making sure you have the right insurance policies in place? The other one, which is my last, I kept it as the last one because I want to break some tables. Your employees have more confidence in the business knowing they are well insured. You can't have people working for you. They're leaving their families, coming to your business, and you don't have at least an health insurance in place for them, or you don't have an employee liability insurance in place for them. That means you don't have them in hearts. All these, as much as it looks like it's not big, it's not a lot, just knowing that I have an HMO plan that allows me to go to the gym, right, makes me love my employer so much. Making me know that with all the times man hours I'm putting in, I'm able to call in my HMO plan to say, I want to go to the spa. And I have that in place. So these are the key things. Sometimes it's just those little things that your employees see and makes them just give you their best. Knowing that if anything happens to me, my employer has taken an insurance plan on my behalf. It's a big deal. For me, it is for me. It's one of the key things I ask. Any job we are giving, any job I'm taking, is very important. I check it. What are the benefits? What am I getting? Am I protected? Is my insurance there? Is my pension there? Those things, are things that, the key reasons why employees they're more confident in that business. You will see an employee going up, going down, saying, it's the little things. And insurance is one of those little things that we kind of overlook. So I want to stop at this point to see if there's any questions. So I'm sure I'm not just speaking to myself, and I'm sure I'm communicating. So if you know I'm communicating, just say you are communicating. And if you have any questions, quickly drop it, and then I just answer them if they're not so much, before I go to the next slide. Any questions? Questions, anyone? If I'm communicating, say I'm communicating. I'm waiting. I want to be sure that maybe it's not network that is doing me like this. You're communicating. All right. Okay. No questions. No questions. All right. Thank you, Adekule Oluwatobi. Thank you. Tejmil. Please, I hope I pronounced that nicely. Any designs? Thank you. Okay, great. So I'm going to go to the next slide. Why I took that pause is because now I'm going to be diving into insurance policies all MSMEs should have. I put them in different tables. I don't know if my slide has changed on YouTube. Okay. I put them in different tables so that I'll take them one after the other and explain what they cover and why you should have it. Right. So yeah, so I'm going right in. So while I was talking about why you should be insured, yes, you pronounced it greatly, ma'am. Okay, thank you. So while I start talking about it, I already spoke about public liability. So public liability insurance is one insurance policy that is if an insurance person is here, they'll probably be saying, oh, Shay, okay, it usually comes as an extension to a particular insurance cover. I'll explain. Most of the time is not a standalone policy. It's a policy that comes along with other policies. So let's say, for example, let me go to like fire and burglary insurance. So you have a fire and burglary insurance in place. And then you then tell your insurer that you want a public liability extension to it. So what you're saying when you take a public liability extension is that in the case, so I have my business, so I'm going to use NSAS, for example. I'll use NSAS for example, but I'll use it in another scenario. Just hold that thoughts for me. So let's say, for example, that your business, let's say AY's house, right? As it is, I'll use AY's house, for example, is a business entity. Or is some people's houses, they take fire and burglary insurance for it. And that fire, right, now affected another building. That building is now saying, AYO, is your fire that made my own house to burn. If AY only had fire and burglary for himself, he did not put public liability insurance on it, AY will look for money to give that man. Public liability then means that if what's happened to me, an accident happened and it affected the public, another person, which is part of the public, you call your public liability insurance policy for that.
Are you still on?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Please go ahead. I'm not sure where the interruption came from. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. So that public liability is what we cover the house that was affected because of the fire that started from the main house. Okay. So that's what public liability is. So I'm going to use third-party insurance. So why is it that the government insists that you get a at the minimum, a third-party insurance is because that policy is for you in a case of an accident. Maybe you are the reason, you are the cause of that accident. You are the one that hit somebody else. You get me? You're the one that hit somebody else. Right? The reason why they're saying you have to have a third party is so that you can call your third party insurance policy. You can call your insurance policy and say, this accident, I was the cause of it. It's a form of, there's an extension to the owner of the car, not to you. Not to you, because the other person is a public, do you get? So not to you. The insurance policy is not to protect your own car. It's to protect the person that you hit with your car. So you call, that's why it's called a third party liability car insurance. So you call it and say, oh, I was the one that caused this accident. So please, this is the details of the third party. I have agreed that I was the one that caused it. The problem we usually have is that Nigerians don't like accepting that I'm the one that caused it. But yeah, that's what that is for. So Grace Abimbola, you said, I hope that means that it is descending. All right. Employee liability insurance, you know the part where I was saying that you should put insurance in place for your employees. So let's say, for example, your employee, something happens to your employee while carrying out their work. Let's say it's a manufacturing company, and then maybe, God forbid, like everybody's always saying, but the person had an accident, right? Your employee liability will come in place. In a case whereby that thing now causes death or disability, your employee liability will be the one you will call to say, in the case of a death, right? You give the family the money and say, the next of kin, not the family, the next of kin, the money. In a case whereby it's a temporary disability, you give the person the money that you've insured them against as your employee. Right. Health insurance. This is, I think almost everybody should know the importance of having an health insurance, especially in the economy that we are in now. It's something every employer should put in place for their staff. There's a package for every kind of, how will I put it now? No company is too small to have an health insurance plan for their employees. No company is too small. It goes a long way to say, okay, this is the health plan you have in place. It just says how structured you are and how intentional you are as a business. Professional indemnity. So this usually is for professionals, but I brought it in because when I say professionals, it's not as if MSMEs are not professionals, so please, they are. But when I mean in professionals, insurance people understand why I said professionals. So if you're a lawyer, you have a law firm, you have an hospital, you have doctors working for you. What else? Accounting firm. You are carrying out, so your advice, people are depending on your advice, right? As a professional. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Grace, for that clarity. So, you have a law firm, you have an hospital, you have an accounting firm. You are carrying out operations on people in the hospital based on your professional. Do you get? That's what I mean. So let's say, for example, you are the owner, you are the one that established the business, right? Professional indemnity should be in place for all your team. So let's say you're in your firm, let's say there's a law firm, all your lawyers should have professional indemnity in place. So you should have a professional indemnity that says, okay, so let me use a tech company, for example. So one of my customers, who owns a technical company, says, oh, okay, I have a contract I want to put in for, and they've asked me for a professional indemnity. Why have they asked him for a professional indemnity? It's because they're saying that this thing that you're doing for me is based on your professional expertise. Your professional expertise. And if anything goes wrong, based on your professional advice and expertise, we are going to hold you liable. We need you to have a professional indemnity in place. Some organizations will not give you a contract if you don't have professional indemnity in place. They won't give you that contract, because what they are saying is that if I give you all this advice, it doesn't work. It's not like it doesn't work or something goes wrong. Not that it doesn't work. Something really bad goes wrong based on what you did. Right? Say Gobi, because you don't have a professional indemnity, they'll drag you to court. Who will pay for the court fee? You. Where you should have taken a professional indemnity for that. Do you get? Vehicle insurance. I've said this one a lot. I don't think, should I explain what vehicle insurance is? So there are different types of vehicle insurance, right? There are different prices for each types of vehicle insurance. If you have a bus, the amount for a commercial bus. So when you say commercial bus, even if your bus is a staff bus, is a commercial, you're using it for commercial use, not for private use. So you see some people, they want to insure the staff bus. They say it's private use. It's not for private use. And if you have a claim, something happens, and you insure this as a private this thing, and they do, and we conduct our investigation and find out that you use this for a commercial reason. There's something we call utmost good faith in insurance. Utmost good faith is that you, as the insured, we want to give, you should give us the truth, absolute truth, all the truths, in utmost good faith. So when we realize that you did not do the right thing in utmost good faith, we'll sanction you. And that's the part where everybody will say, insurance is a fraud. They are frauds, they are lying. You will not tell them the story, the real story, or the behind the story of what happened. All right. All these things are usually marked out in your policy document, which I will advise you, and I will say here for free. No matter how cumbersome your as a business, you should have a lawyer that you're working with. You should have a legal advisor. Give your policy documents to your legal advisor to read through if you feel like it's too cumbersome for you to read through. Always read your policy documents. It's important. You get why? So vehicle insurance, if you're in Lagos and you're not doing comprehensive insurance, I don't know. If you're living in this country, I don't have motor insurance. You are not doing comprehensive insurance. You know, the first thing I said is that it's like you don't love yourself, right? It's like you don't love yourself because I don't know how to explain it, but you're living in Nigeria. You should be insured. You should insure your car comprehensively. And for us at Padikova, again, like when she was giving my bio, what is important to us is we want to make sure that everybody is insured, and we have made it so simple that you can actually pay monthly for even your motor insurance. If the annual money is what is making you scared, we've broken it down for you. You can now pay monthly. You don't have to, be scared. Okay. So I'm trying to, because again, I don't want Andre and Uriam to say, okay, your time is up or something. Group and personal accident insurance, everybody in Nigeria. So sorry, that is meant to be group stroke personal accident, not just hold on, let me just correct that. Right, sorry. You're seeing all my, are you seeing that? I'm hoping not. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. So group personal accident insurance, right? Somebody say, guess why? Oh. I'm seeing your Tejmil, I'm seeing your questions. I'll get to them. So don't worry, I'll get to them. Group stroke personal accident insurance. Personally, everybody in Nigeria should take up that policy. It's very, in fact, the premium, it can be as low as 5,000 naira. But it insures you against any, how will I put it, accidents that could happen to you outside of your home, when you're in the streets. That's what that is for. So please, I'm saying those policies. So even when you're telling your employees that we have put HMO in place for you, we do public liability for you, but we cannot follow you to your house like that. Get a personal accident insurance cover for yourself. Now, somebody asked a question about specifics for a manufacturing company. So for a manufacturing company, you should have a public liability insurance in place, depending on where your location is and how your structure is like. So most of this time, this kind of insurance is always good to have a one-on-one session, and so that we can review, see your environment, understand how your environment is, how your business is running, and the risk mitigations that you've put in place for us to then say, okay, these are the policies you need to go through. But you should have a public liability insurance. You should have, so you should, if you are manufacturing, that means you have machineries. You have different machineries that you're working with. So you should have a plant all risk and machinery breakdown insurance cover. You see the scenario I had said in the beginning of my, when I was saying that there was breakdown, business interruption. This is what that policy is for. Plant all risk. You have a factory, you should get a plant all risk and machinery breakdown insurance cover. It's important. Employee liability, you should have it because of how manufacturing industries can be. So again, it's always depending on the way your company is arranged, your structure, really. Depending if you have contracts, you should have health insurance for all your employees. You should, right? It's important. Also, depending on the sector that you're playing in, there are other insurance policies you should also put in place. Again, and it's also based on the scope, how big the organization is, right? So I'm going to share my email with you after the session, so you can just shoot me an email, and I'm willing to just talk you through what questions you might have also, if what I've said is not, you need more clarity on them. So plant all risk, like I said, is for machineries. So when Biodun Ibikunle Foundation buys you those machineries that you need for your operation, the first thing I'm very sure they will tell you is get insurance. You get why? Get your insurance in place. Insure it. Somebody will ask me now, is my fridge what's insured? Yes, you can insure your fridge. If you have a machine, ice block machine you're doing, insure it. If you have a grinding machine, insure it, right, under this machinery breakdown. All right. So that's it. Now I'm going to one that's of recent, like in a couple of a year, 2 years, a lot of stories have happened on this particular area of business, and that is construction. A building collapses, right? It's not a good sight to see, right? But yeah, these are things that we call unforeseen accidents. When the unexpected happens. Usually, I think that the day that the building in Ikoyi collapsed, insurance trended in Nigeria. I was looking at Twitter like this. I say, in this same Nigeria, insurance is trending. Are you for real? That's because we have this thing on. Yes, Tej Mill. Yes, there are like 5 policies all put together, right? But the fun thing about these things is that the premium cannot be as much as the premium cannot be up to 5% of the amount you purchase those things. So, do you get? Look at that. Look at it from the aspect of how much did I buy this thing? How much did I invest in this business? How much are you even now going to pay for the premium? It's not even up to 10%. So it's not even to, sometimes it might not even be up to 5% of the amounts you used to buy that asset. So, to be honest, it pays to be insured. So I'm going back to the construction or risk policy. So all that happened, and I was just looking, like, the conversation was really great. I was like, wow. So there's this, Nigerians know that insurance should be in place. So pray tell, why we still find it difficult to do it? Why is it so difficult? And I'm just asking this question. If anybody wants to answer me, I like to learn new perspectives. So please share. So contractors all risk. So under the construction all risk, we have 2 categories. We have the contractors all risk policy. So when you are getting a construction all risk insurance, make sure it's covering 2 things. Contractors all risk. You as the contractor, do you understand me? Sorry, give me a minute. You as the contractor, when a damage happens on that contract, that building is covered. So you know when you are talking to insurance people and you are telling them you are scared of scam, where are you going to meeting? Where are you going to? Where are you going to? Where are you going to? Bliss, where are you going to go and get the insurance that you are so scared of scam? You have to also do your homework, right? Always do your homework. That's why you have paddy cover. I'll get there for you. I'll get there. So that building as it is a contract on its own. So that building was contracted out to a company to build. That's a contract. So when you've been as a construction company, you've been given a contract to build this building, right? You should have a construction all risk insurance in place. Or you were said to say, what maybe they said, assemble some things, you people in the construction industry, people understand. If you're here, say hello. But yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. So you're meant to have a 2-in-1. So construction law is a 2-in-1 policy whereby you have that cover for that building. If anything happens while you're constructing that building, you're covered for the damages. But you see this builder's liability. If What you are now building, like that AY situation, affected another public property. If you were negotiating with your insurance person and you are saying, I want to reduce the money, please, bring it down. And they say, okay, we can remove this. We will remove the builder's liability and just do constructors or risk for you. What you have done is that if anything happened and it affected the public in the nearby buildings or is not insured, you pay from your pockets. But if you did the right thing and did a full construction or risk insurance policy that includes contractors or risk, that includes builders liability, do you get? Okay. Grace, wherever you want me to give more details, please just, let me know. Together, if you have those construction or risk covers together, you know that if anything happens on that building, when you're doing that contract, you're fully covered, either to the public or to yourself, you're fully covered. Now, all risk insurance with an own content extension. So all risk insurance is one of those policies that I really love to tell my clients about. Why? All risk insurance is that insurance policy that every average person should have, really. So it ensures, so let's say, for example, you have, how do I put it now? You have a gadget, you have movable items, like you have your gold jewelries, you have your phones, your laptop, and everything, right? It's an extension that can be added to your own content insurance, depending on the plan that you're buying. So I'm going to take these three policies together: the householder insurance policy and the house owner insurance policies. Householder insurance policies and the house owner insurance policy, I'm going to take them together with all risk and non-content insurance extension, because it gives you an holistic views of how you should use it. Now, householder insurance policy, you are in Lagos or you are in Badon, you are in Ife, you are in Abuja. You rented an apartment. You are in that apartment, you put all your properties in there. Everything inside is fat, decorated, you put your curtains, everything looking prim and proper, on point, right? You can insure it under the house owner insurance policy with an all risk insurance extension. Now, all risk insurance is why we are saying with an all risk insurance extension is that in a case that you have done that house owner insurance policy, it comes with an home content. There's an home content element in that house owner insurance, whereby every content that you have itemized in the inventory that your insurer has sent to you. So you can go as far as itemizing your Brazilian wig, itemizing your glasses. You can itemize your shoes, your bag, put the value of it. You can even say Gucci, serial number, this, size, this, color, and put it on that inventory. Do you understand? You put it on that inventory. It's automatically insured under that policy because you've taken an house owner insurance policy. Sorry, not house owner, householder. Householder, I'm sorry. Householder. It's not your property. You rented it. They are now holding it for the period of rent, right? And it comes with home content insurance, with all risk insurance extension. So when you're asking for home insurance, please always ask these questions of what does it cover? It's very important. There are some home content insurance cover that just covers the content that you have itemized on an inventory. Anything outside that content, you are not insured, right? So you need to always, put that into perspective. And this cover also has a fire and special peril extension to it. So you can add your phones, your laptop, your everything. If you're a content person, everything you used to do content, you can add it there. As a business owner, if you are using all these things in your business, you can add it under the risk policy. I'm going to explain again how you can match it with other policies for yourself. Also, everything. So your fridge, you can itemize your fridge, your TV, your curtains, your clothing. Just put the value. This is the value of what it is. They will send you an inventory for you to collate all those things. Always take your time. So this is the issue. Like we always feel like it's cumbersome for you to do this. But when you're buying things, I don't know, maybe it's me being very finicky. But as I'm buying an item, I had it. I sent it to my insurance company. Please let me know the additional premium I need to pay to add this to my inventory. Do you understand? You can do that under this house owner. Then house owner, you built your house. You've built your house. That your house that you built. The building itself, the things inside it, you can insure it under the house owner insurance policy. Then tell them that you want a public liability extension on it with an all risk. I can tell you that when they bundle it together like that, they will give you a quote, an holistic quote. But what you've done is to make sure that all this, that you are properly insured against fire, and everything. So because it's an holistic policy, you've imputed your phones, you've put your gadgets. So even if you were driving on Akpogbo Bridge, somebody collects your phone, is insured. They will still pay for it for you. You can still make a claim on that, right? So those are specifics. So for all risk extension, again, I'm going to say this. So if you own a business and you are heavy on gadgets, so like tech businesses, a lot of tech businesses have their have their employees carrying laptops home and all that. You should get an all risk insurance along with your fire and burglary insurance to protect everything within the office. So, right, or get a proper property insurance for that. So that your building is, if it's your business, if you're the owner of the, as the owner of the business, you're also the owner of the building, it's insured. You have an all risk cover on all your gadgets, movable items. You have a fire and burglary insurance on the things that are inside also. So let's say you have a all this display projectors and everything that are screwed in under your fire and burglary, as long as you have put it under the inventory, right? It's covered. Now I'm going to go to credit life. So there's a reason why I put this in this mix. I put the credit life policy in the mix because a lot of businesses run on loans. So I need you to know about credit life so that when you're taking up these loans, you're asking your bank, do you have this in place? And I'm not, and again, we are Nigerians, and as I'm giving all these details, I'm giving you these details so that you have a better place for you to manage your finances properly and also be responsible as a business owner. So credit life policy is taken by, most loan companies. So if you're having a loan and you're just saying, okay, I want a credit, I want to get a loan. A lot of loan companies, some of them don't. That's why they'll come after your life. Some of them don't. But, even if they don't have it in place, I think you should have it in place. You can call your insurance company and say, please, I want to take a loan and I want a credit life on it so that in case anything happens, right, maybe I had an accident and then I had a temporary disability that stops me from being able to continue my business, or peradventure, the thing that we don't like people to see happens, right? You can put that in place. Andre, your hands are up. Is my time up?
It's about that. Almost
Okay.
up. We have about 15 minutes left.
Okay, great. So I'm
Yeah.
rounding off.
Okay.
So somebody asked about food business, yeah, right? Food business. Somebody asked about food business. So if you're a food business, if you do food business, most of the policies I've spoken about are things that you can use for small scale. Okay, so when you say small scale, I need to understand your operations very well so that I can help you just pinpoint the ones you need. It's usually best, again, that's why we are coming as part of the cover to say we would like to know what it is so that we can help you work on bespoke offerings specifically for you, right? Based on partnerships that we have with all the insurance companies we work for. Yes, in a situation where you own the facility, you still need to, you should insure the building. You should. So now, if you have a business that involves you bringing things in from Obodo Oyibo, you're bringing things in, you're shipping things, you're flying things in, you should have a marine insurance in place. I know most people say, oh, ship no, they sink. Ship they sink. Ship they sink. Right. And you want to make sure you have a marine insurance in place for that. What you just need is your pro forma invoice, send it to you, and then you get a quote for it. So just make sure they're not explosives. Goods in transit. If you run a logistic company or a food business and you own your own dispatch, right? You have your own dispatch, right? You have your dispatch per se and everything. For a logistic company, you need to have a GIT in place to ensure the things that your dispatch riders are carrying out. All we'll ask you is that what is the amount you are carrying? No matter at the least or the most, what is the amount per every dispatch? We call it per carriage, per every dispatch that you're going. How much do you estimate them to be? That will help us. And how many times is that dispatcher going and coming? Do you understand? Those are the questions that you'll be asked to help you get a quote. You should have a GIT in place. If you're a logistic company, you should have a GIT in place. If you're using trucks, you should have a comprehensive insurance cover for your trucks. The fact that you have a GIT does not mean that your trucks or the bike is insured. No. You have to have a vehicle insurance policy for those. And if you have a driver, right, and a rider for these things, you should have a personal accident cover for them, should in case an accident occurs. So that when they call you and say, Madam, We see your bike for road though. We don't rush, we always say we don't want things like this to happen, but it happens. You're not panicking and saying, oh, how am I going to sort the hospital bill? Because under the personal accident cover, there's a medical bill benefit there. So if death occurs or personal disability occurs or death or the person got injured and then was taken to the hospital, the medical bills to the tone that you have given us. So you are the one as the employer that determines how much you want covered under those. So you say in case of death, I want 500K. In the case of deaths, yes, I want 500K. In the case of temporary disability or permanent disability, I want 500K to be paid to that person. In case of medical, I want 500K or 300,000 to be paid to that person. You are the one that will say it, and then a quote will be given to you based on the amount that you specified. Do you get? Electrical insurance. So somebody is asking me about food businesses and everything. Food businesses, you guys use a lot of equipment. Get your machinery breakdown policy in place. Get a machinery breakdown policy in place so that you don't have disruptions when you're in your manufacturing process. Also, please ensure that I lost my line of thought there, but yeah, just make sure that you get machinery in place. Electrical insurance. You see, when you get your own risk insurance and you're putting your gadgets, please get an electric insurance extension to it. So that in the case of a surge,
Please.
you get a cover. In case of a surge. Travel insurance. My people that are like me that loves to travel.
On the plate track.
I'm hearing somebody's voice. On people like me that loves to travel international, make sure you get your travel insurance in case of flight delays, in case of baggage loss, in case you fall ill when you are there. So it's not that, let's be clear about that part of falling ill. It's not that you were not feeling fine before you traveled. You now went there and said they should treat you, and they find out that it's an existing condition that you're coming to treat. Travel insurance doesn't cover that, right? Travel insurance is you get there, an emergency occurs, and a medical emergency occurs, and you need to be treated. Your travel insurance will sort that for you, right? So that's that on the policies. So let me just quickly round up and go to questions. What do you do when you have a claim? This is one of the most asked questions. When you have a claim, number one, take your phone. Thank God we are now in a time where take your phone, take the picture. And I don't know, there's this series that I love. Molly's, I watched it on Netflix anyway. And there was a scenario whereby, so I'm saying this for the food vendor, whereby there was a burglary and they smashed everything within the kitchen, everything within that restaurant. What they did was just, immediately she just got in, she was like, what is this? Oh my God, what are you going to do? Took all the pictures of every inch of that incident and sent it to the insurance company. What happens is that when it happens, I know it's usually hard, but a lot of people just say, oh, you're trying to clean up immediately. No, don't clean up immediately. Document it. It's the documentation that you will use for your claim process. Capture it. We need to get proof of this is what happened and how it happened. And there will be a claim form, or if you're doing with Paddy Cover, you go to our website, you click on make a claim. And on that claim, make a claim, there's a place that asks you what happened. What were the things that occurred? How did this happen? Right? You document it properly and send the pictures. Take every inch, no picture. There can never be too much pictures when an incident happens. Please, always document. And then you share. For every policy document that is given to you when you get your insurance policy, read it. There's always a segment that shows to tell you details, the document that they need for the claim. Follow through. It's important. Once you get a policy, sit down, take your time. The way you read your novels now, you can even be listening to music in the background and just looking at it, reading it, and taking notes down. If you feel like it's cumbersome, pay a legal person to help you to it. So I've said so much, and I'm just going to be rounding up immediately to say, for us at Paddy Cover, right, what is important to us is that we want to ensure the next billion. Now, when I say the next billion, it's not the next billion people, it's the next billion assets. For every asset that you are buying for your business, and you are putting in place for your business, we want everybody to have an insurance in place to help them mitigate in case when accident happens. It's usually very saddening, to be honest. Anybody that is close to me that is here would know that when they tell me, oh, this happened, I'm like, my heart is broken because I feel like I wish you had insured so that you don't have to start from the beginning all over again. Now, the other good news is that we have also realized that to deepen the insurance penetration in Nigeria, collaborations must happen. And there are some businesses that are running that you can actually embed insurance services to them to make your next door neighbor be more aware about insurance. So much untapped markets. It also makes you socially responsible, and it makes your business being seen as one that is innovative and a good adopter of technology. Because again, we've put technology solutions in place to make it easy for you to onboard anybody. So you have a food business, people are walking into that place. They can actually buy a vehicle insurance from your cachet. And once they buy it, you get something, there's something that comes to you because they bought it through your facility. So that's a business opportunity for you that you can also look to. They're a part of making sure that every other business around you or every other individual around you is insured. You're empowering your business for the future. The future of business is not about what you're selling, is how you make people feel really. People want to be included, right? They want to know that you have their best interest in heart. So the way I've passionately spoke to you about insurance, if somebody is able to, say I came to your facility and I was able to get an insurance policy just by being on your desk or coming to your facility, there's a way that you've embedded insurance in your service for me to have it, then, it makes them happy. There are so many partnership opportunities that we can talk about, and that helps us to build the economy this our economy that really needs to grow. And whether you like it or not, insurance is a really big part of this economy we are building. So let me give you my last scenario. EndSARS happened. When EndSARS happened, government facilities that were vandalized were insured, but you and I were not insured. Your shops, your businesses were boggled, but they were not insured. You had to fix that from out of pocket. Fundraisings had to go out. But imagine if we all had insurance, we would have been able to collectively help each other just because we all had insured our assets. So that's our mandate, whereby we say we want to insure the next billion assets. Ensuring the next billion, I'm just saying it is true. Ensuring the next billion is an ethical imperative for businesses today to seize the opportunity for your organization to leave a legacy. Somebody put a concern there that I'm scared of being scammed. Why don't you partner with us to ensure that your next door neighbor is not scammed and gets insurance on the right set of people? We at Paddy Cover, we've partnered with credible insurance underwriters for us to deliver bespoke insurance products for you. Just shoot me a mail just say inquiry@paddycover.com, or just follow us on our social media and use @paddycover, and just ask your questions and we would reach out to you. Just drop your phone number or your email address and we'll reach out to you. Let's embark on this journey to empower our organizations, the people around us, our loved ones, and make this country more economically stable by building more sustainable businesses. When you insure, you are making sure a business is sustained for longevity. So thank you for your time. Let's embark on this journey together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Okwe, for that very detailed presentation and workshop. I was hoping we could take, I know you took some questions in between, but I don't see any questions in the chat. Yeah, so we have just 5 minutes to take on more questions. If you have more questions, please drop them in the chat. And I'm sure we can always, or Okwe can always respond to you. I think she has also dropped her details as well. So you can reach out to her if you need that service. It's available to you all.
So you can just send an email to enquiry@paddycover.com. I'll get it and my team will also get it. Yeah.
All right. So I don't see any questions.
Just follow our social media. There's a question
I don't see any questions.
I have a question that somebody dropped in the on the YouTube. In a situation where your apprentice working for me and the person carelessly injuring herself, what policy of insurance covered that, or she will go to our insurance company herself? No, ma. You should have a personal accident cover in place, or employee liability cover in place for that. That policy will cover that scenario. Thank you. I've answered you, Blissful.
All right, Betu, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Yes, I have a question. Thanks so much, madam. Thanks. The section was so impactful. Thank you so much. But I as a small scale, I do call myself a small scale with at least minimum of 9 staffs. So I've been jotting down. I am small.
I'm listening.
I've been jotting down necessary and important policies that are applicable to me. But looking at them, I think it's just too cumbersome for a small scale to I don't know how to put it, to apply as in what I learned from this section is like I am liable to like 6 or 7 different policies. How do I go about that as a small scale? And I have to always renew. It's not just a one-time payment. It's something that you have to do annually.
Betu, just ask the question you need the most answer to, so that you can get the help you need.
The most important policy that I can what is it called? That I should just
subscribe to.
Yes, as a small scale.
So as a small scale, you can get the employee liability. Fire and burglary is important, whether small scale or big scale. Then health insurance for your employers. But again, just shoot me an email. Just put it. I cannot forget your name. Your name is spot on, Tejmail. So just put that name, and I'll respond to you personally.
So just to add to that, oftentimes, because you may not know exactly what you need to subscribe to, what is priority, you need a form of assessment. So what they should do, an insurance broker or advisor or whatever it is, a company, should take a 360 look at your business and find out what are the things that are really at risk based on how you are operating. And then you begin to take it as priority and then put a system of payment into it, and then even infuse all that into your business plan or expenses or budgeting, or as the case may be. Because if you pick them one by one, maybe based on one incident that happened last week or last month, that may not be what to put you at risk based on the conditions of your company. So for instance, if because you heard there was a fire here somewhere, and then you say, oh, maybe I should get a fire insurance.
No.
Exactly, and go and get it. Meanwhile, it's rainy season and there's flood. So what's going to happen? Or even in Harmattan period, fire is more important, but something else has happened to your staff, then you went to do staff cover instead of protecting yourself against fire.
You should do an holistic, exactly. Which is why I said, if you need more clarity and you want us to work with you specifically to help you do an assessment, just shoot an email inquiry. So what we've done at PadiCover is that we work with all our clients to make sure that we understand their kind of business. We are able to review the kind of risk that they are open to, and then we can then advise you on the policies that you should take on, depending on the scale of your business, right? And the risk attached to your business. That's why I said, if you know you want me to do that, we want us as a company to do that assessment for you, just shoot us a mail, inquiry@padicover.com, or just go to PadiCover and we'll respond to you. We also have a chat bot on our website. So if you go there and ask your questions, we'll reply you. Somebody asked
all right,
a
thank
question
you very much.
There's a question on YouTube on payment. So traditionally, insurance is an annual plan, but because of what we do at PadiCover, you are able to pay monthly. If you come through us, you are able to pay monthly. We have a way of scheduling for you to have a monthly plan, depending on the kind of business you do. But bear in mind that insurance is an annual thing with options for you to pay monthly, quarterly, or yearly.
All right, we really have to come to a close now. We've done 1 hour and almost 30 minutes. This is supposed to be a 1 hour session, straight to the point, so that people can get what they need to do and hopefully watch the video over and over again to take key points that you can now go and practicalize or act on, as the case may be. If it's too long, you may lose the span of attention. I may not pick the important notes that you need to, especially when you're coming back to the video again. So we want to appreciate Opeoluwa Dutoye. Thank you so much for putting a wonderful slide together and taking the time to break this down for us. I myself have learned a lot about it, about the different kind of insurance that you can subscribe to. But as small business owners, it's important that you understand your business and know that you're actually subscribing for the right insurance. And I think also exposing yourself to the different kind of insurance subscription you can do, it also helps to know you as a third party going into partnership or business with another person. How are you protected, or how is your business protected? Not just the one you're running by yourself, so that you're not at risk at somebody else's situation in that sense. So on behalf of Biodo and Bipili Foundation, the management, the board, and the advisors, I want to thank all those who have tuned in today and our speaker, and see you at our next edition. Have a good evening.